Alright, so this should work now. So we've got the moving platform. If I press it, it should move. Yep, goes all the way to the right place, and move it again, and it comes back, and it should loop forever, so we can just move that continuously. Alright, here we are in game. Let's see if it all works. Let's go inside our elevator. Yep, use elevator 500. Let's see. So that goes down, and yeah, everything comes down with us. Let's see, does it open? Yep. Use elevator again, and it goes up. That's pretty cool. Hi guys, this is S4 Reaction. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make moving platforms and elevators and stuff inside Black Ops 3 mod tools. So here I've just got a basic map that I've literally just made. So yeah, I'll be showing you first how to make a little moving platform. After I do that, I'll show you how to make like an elevator like this, where you go inside, press a button, and it goes down to the next floor. But first, I'll just show you how to make a very simple thing that when you press a button, it takes your money or not, and just moves it. And you can make so it moves back, forth, forever. Or you can make so it does it once, and then you have to press it again for it to come back. But yeah, let me show you how to do that. So let's just get a nice... This is our platform that's going to move. I'm going to make a little thing going up to it. So first thing you're going to want to do is click the brush model you've made, make it into a script brush model. So for this, you're going to want to go to your entity browser, script, and drag a brush model on. We're going to be doing a lot of this in this tutorial, so I'd suggest right-click in the script and toggle favorite so that you can simply have it selected, right-click, script, brush model, whatever. But seeing as this is a brush, it's a brush model. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it so that when it's here and you press a button, it goes over there, and then you press the same button and it comes back. So next we're going to want to make a trigger. So right click, trigger, same thing I did here. I went to entity browser, trigger, right click, toggle as favorite, so I can simply right click, trigger, use. Click N for entity info, and we're going to give it a target name. We'll give this one platform trig. So with the triggers, I always put trig at the end of it so I know what it is. We're going to do the same thing with the moving platform. We're going to give it a target name. Just call it a platform model. So we know that this is the actual thing that's moving, and this is the thing that's making it move. Right, so as simple as, we're just going to want to go to our launcher, right click this, open map folder, so that's your map name, map folder, scripts, ZM, and go to your GSC. Right, so here we have your GSC. What you're going to want to do is make a new function, and we're going to want to call it function, let's just call it moving platform. And this is what you're actually going to be calling as soon as the map loads up. So go to the end of your main, and you're just going to want to thread it. Thread moving platform, and that's just going to thread it as soon as we spawn in. So we're going to want to do we're going to want to get the entities. So we're going to want to get this and get this. So let's see, what's the trigger called? So we've called it platform trig. So what I usually do is just call it level dot, whatever it's called, equals get ent. If I can actually spell. See, I hate it when it does that right. Let's just equals get ent, like that, yeah. We're going to want to paste that in there. So this is what it's going to be looking for in Radiant or in the game, and it's going to be looking in the target name. So now we've got the trigger, we're going to want to get the model itself. So what do we call it in Radiant? Yeah, platform model. Go back to your Sublime or whatever. Level dot platform model equals get ent. Same thing, paste that there. Target name. So as this is going to be a really basic one, we're going to do a simple wait till it's activated, and it's going to cost no money. So what we're going to want to do is, because we want to be able to do it forever, we're going to do while 1. So this basically just creates like an infinite loop. And then we're going to want to copy this and paste it and do wait till it's triggered by a player. Also, before we put in the wait till, we're going to want to give it a hint string. So we're going to want to set hint string, and then this is going to be whatever it's going to say. So press, and then type this in, press that to move platform. And then also we want to give it a cursor hint. So I'm just going to copy this again, give it cursor hint, hint underscore no icon. So the game basically reads that and says, all right, don't put the little hand symbol in. So it's going to do all that. It's going to wait until it's triggered by a player. Then what do we want it to do? So we want to figure out how far we want it to move and where it's moving to and on what axis. So to do that, what we're going to do is select the moving platform, and you can see that we want it to go exactly here. So I'm just going to drag it along, and then if you look at the bottom, I'll point out after I move it. So it goes, we're going to want to go to here. So it's going to be moving on the x-axis 384. So it was down here. Probably zoom in or something. So now we know how much it's going to move here. 384 on the x. Now we're going to want to figure out how long we want it to take to move there. I'd say probably like 2.5 seconds. So we're going to make it move x 384 over 2.5 seconds. So move x. So if you're wondering how to look for these functions, move x, move whatever, I'd suggest going to the script API, which you can locate in your root folder. Docs, mods, tools, and then it takes you to this PDF. So you can do like move x, and it will show you this function here, move x, the point you want to move to, and the time it's going to take. You can do the same, move y, move z, but yeah, we'll be using move x. So we're going to be moving it 384 over 2.5 seconds. We're not going to do any acceleration or deceleration. You can mess with that in your own time, but we'll just be doing the basic thing. So we know how much it's moving, and we know how long it's going to take. So what do we want it to do now? Well, we want it to wait for a certain amount of time before we can use the trigger again. So it has to be longer than this time, otherwise it'll break it. So we can make it 1 second longer before you can use it again. Because we're going to be wanting to move it back, we're going to want another wait till, and this is a really basic thing. I probably wouldn't even do this in game, but it's just to show you how to do a basic moving platform. So we're going to want to do the same thing, move x minus 384, and the reason I'm using minus now is because we're going to be going the same amount, the same distance, but just backwards. So we're going to want to do it over the same amount of time too, and wait the same amount of time. There we go. So this should work. Oh yeah, so one thing I forgot to mention was after we trigger the moving platform, we're going to want to hide the trigger so that it can't be, seen or whatever. So we're just going to do a simple hide like that. And then after the 3.5 seconds, we're going to show it. So it's going to say the same thing up here. And then after it's triggered, we do the same thing. And because it's looping, we can either use the show down here or we can use it up here. I'm just going to use it up here. So it shows it every time. And that should work. So let's go in game and have a quick look. So I just want to point out that I did accidentally miss a semicolon here. It was just on the on one of these things. But yeah, you always have to use the semicolons when you're doing stuff like this. Alright, so this should work now. So we've got the moving platform. If I press it, it should move. Yep, goes all the way to the right place. And move it again. and it comes back, and it should loop forever, so we can just move that continuously. And if I stand on it, it should take me with it if I'm quick enough. Oh, right, okay, so in Radiant you'll want to set it to moving platform so that it actually takes you along with it, but I haven't done that right now. So, yeah, you want to do that. Right, so let's get into the more advanced stuff with this elevator going down and linking stuff to stuff, and yeah. Right, so we've done this basic moving platform. Let's move on to this proper elevator thing I've got going on here. So I've just created a really basic kind of little elevator thing. So in your one, you'd probably want to create like a little elevator shaft and do all that funky stuff. But for now, it's just this thing here is going to move down. I've clipped the edges so the player can't jump out. I've also clipped this, and so what's going to happen is that this is going to come out and it's going to go like this to stop the player from getting out. There we go. And we're going to move a clip up so that the player isn't able to leave the elevator when it's moving. So first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is set everything to a brush model so that it can be scripted. So I'm just going to highlight all of the clips I've got going on here. All the brush models. Here, this and this and this and this. And also this bad boy here. And do I have the ceiling selected? No. Okay, so this is going to be the thing that's going to move down like that. And it's going to go down. And it's going to go down like this. And it's going to go to the next floor here. And it's going to line up perfectly with the floor there. So, yeah, you can change it to whatever you want in your script, but let me just show you how to do that quick. As I've got everything selected here, you're going to want to right click, script, and brush model. So just assuming that everything is a brush. If not, then you just select the model and just do script model, which is what I'm going to show you how to do now. So we're going to bring up a model, we'll bring up another, what should we use here? We use the same thing. We use this little console thing. So I'm just going to clip this off here so the player can't walk into it. So you'd probably actually want to use an elevator button pad or whatever, but I'm just going to use this. So after we've done that, you're going to want to set the model to a script. Right, so one thing I forgot to mention when everything was selected is you want to give it a target name of whatever all the things are going to be when you move it. So let me just do that quick. So I'm just reselecting everything. Make sure we got everything selected. Yep. So we want to make sure we get the models, all the brush models, whatever. So this is going to go down. Yep. And we're going to give it the target name. Elevator models. So all these things are going to be called in the script, and they're going to be called by elevator models. So the next thing we've got to do is actually give the door, which is going to move on its own at some point, a unique target name. So I'm going to call this the elevator door model. And another thing we've got to do is create a unique clip that's going to move up when the elevator door is moved. So I'm going to put it beneath the level so that it doesn't get in the way when the elevator isn't moving. So as soon as we press this button here, this is going to move along and the clip is going to shoot up instantly. So we could just use a simple, hide and show of the clip, but that can create bugs with, nav mesh, zombie pathing, stuff like that. And it can also, when you sprint and slide in this place where the clip would be, it bugs out. So I just move it out of the level. You can either move it down or you can move it to the side or whatever. You just got to know how much to move it by and on what axis. So I just move it Z there. So we've got everything set up. We need to give this a target name. Elevator door model. Just give it elevator door clip. So everything should have that. Now we need to make a trigger, so we're going to want to do trigger use, and we're just going to want to put it there. Move it up, move it down. We'll give it the target name elevator trig. Right, so the next step is how are we actually going to move everything even when there's multiple things with different target names, etc. So the way that I get around this is I put in a script origin so that everything here is linked to the script origin, so that when the script origin is moved, everything moves with it. So the way how we do this is we right click, go script origin, and you can put it wherever really, but I'm just going to put it in the middle for simplicity. For simplicity's sake. So we put it there. I'm going to give it the target name. I'm going to give it the target name elevator origin, or just something you can remember. So now we've got all of our triggers, clips, everything set up. I'm just going to make this make it a moving platform. There we go. So it looks nice and smooth when you're riding it. Okay, so now we're going to need to get into the scripting side of things. So this might be a little bit long, but we'll see how it goes. So we're going to want to create a new function. And it's just going to be elevator setup or something like that. We need to call this at the beginning, so that it's starting straight away. Right, now we're going to need to get all the entities. So we need to look at what all of the basic stuff that's going to move, so stuff that isn't unique. So all these clips and stuff. And okay, so apparently I actually gave everything the target name elevator door model, so that was an accident. So I have to reselect everything and just make sure it's got the right target name. Elevator models, there we go. So I'm just going to hide this, and for some reason this isn't working. I'm just going to create a new door here because the other one wasn't working for some reason, so I want it to just go down a little bit. We're going to make it a bit smaller. Yeah, everything should be working now. Elevator models, and then this has a unique name of elevator door clip. This has a unique name of elevator door model. This stuff is static, so it's just going to be the elevator models. And this has a unique name of elevator trig. Perfect. And also this has a unique name of elevator origin. So the next thing is we're going to want to get the array of these models and link them all to this origin. So yeah, that's in the script inside. Let's go over and do that. So we're going to want to be getting the entity of, or the entities I should say, of all of these models or brush models, whatever here. So I'm just going to copy that, go over here, and you might think, oh, it might be the same way as, you know, just get ent, and it'll work the same way. But no, we actually have to get the array of entities, which is get ent array, and it's looking for the array of this in the target name. So after it's done that, it says, okay, so we're going to store all that in there. We need to get the unique stuff like the door here, so the elevator door model. So seeing as this is just one, we put this in here, make that level, equals get ent. That's the target name, so that's the door model. Then we want to get the door clip, which is down here. Let's just unhide that. Door clip, copy that. Same thing. And then this one, the trigger for the elevator. Level dot trig get ent. And then finally, we're going to want to get the origin that everything is going to be linking to. So we got all the entities here. So we're going to be setting up some things here, like linking the stuff that doesn't really move except for when you press it to the origin. So that's going to be the elevator models here. So we're going to copy that. Elevator models enable link to, which enables it to link to the struct. and then we're going to do elevator models link to the origin. So that's linking the models to the origin. So I'm also going to make a global variable that is telling the game whether the elevator is at floor 1 or at floor 2. So I'm just going to say elevator floor equals 1. So it's currently at floor 1. So when it goes down, it's going to be at floor 2. So we're going to tell the game that. And every time we use it, so every time we go to floor 2, we're going to change this to 2. So that it knows whether to move it on the minus or the positive z-axis. We should also enable linking on all the other stuff, but we won't actually link it to the origin yet, but we will do that eventually. So I'm just going to space out here so we know that this is getting all the entities and this is the linking part. So we're enabling it to link to whenever we want to link it to. So after this, we're going to need to make a new function that's going to be called in here. So we're going to call it function elevator move. So this is going to be actually where it's waiting to be used on the trigger and where it's actually going to move. So let's just thread it here. So elevator move. So actually, before we thread elevator move here and create the function, we're actually going to create a idle elevator state, or like a function where it's waiting to be used on the trigger. And this is actually where we're going to move the elevator. So this is where it's going to be checking if the player has the money or yeah, just any stuff like that. Here, we're actually going to be calling this function here. So thread elevator idle, and then it's going to come here and we're going to want to do all the stuff with the trigger here. So we're going to be doing the trigger, so this is where we're going to be setting the cursor hint, the hint string, all that good stuff. So let's set the cursor hint to hint no icon, and then we're going to set the hint string to press. So this is the activate button. To use elevator. And then we're going to give it a cost. We should make this cost a variable that you can change yourself. So I'm just going to do level elevator cost. So let's take this variable, go back up to the top, let's just put it here, and we're going to set the elevator cost to, let's make it 500. So that's going to be the cost of the elevator. Next thing we're going to want to do is wait until the trigger is pressed by the player. Here's where we're going to be setting up the player score. And checking to see if the player has enough money to purchase the elevator. So what we're going to do is, oh my god, I can't press the right thing. If the player has more than or equal to the elevator cost, then do this. Else, we could do like not enough points or whatever, play a little sound on the trigger. So we're also going to put this in a while loop so that it loops forever. So I should have mentioned that at the beginning, so my bad. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move all this up. I'm going to select the stuff that isn't indented and just press tab so it shifts along. Right, so this is going to loop forever. So it's always going to be waiting for a trigger, and then so what the while loop's going to do is it's going to go here, and then as soon as it's pressed by the trigger, it's going to either, the player's going to either have enough, and then it's going to do this, and then it's going to wait, and then go back round. Or if they don't have enough, it's going to go like this and say you don't have enough points, wait 1.5, and then go back around and set the hint string back to this. So here we're going to be saying if the player.score has enough, then we call the function, which is elevator move. And you can do things like here, like whenever the elevator is moving, you can set a variable that says, you know, elevator is moving, so that when you do this, it doesn't break sometimes. So you can make a variable that's like level dot elevator moving. So what this is going to do is say, if this is false, then you can do this, else run this. But it shouldn't really happen anyway, but it's just like a fail-safe thing. So we would set this variable up in the main, and we'd just call it elevator moving equals false. And then we change that to true in this function here. So if it equals false, we're going to do elevator move. We're going to thread it. And then we need to wait a certain amount of time. So what you can do is do like a wait and then have your elevator move time. So you could do like level elevator move time and then do like plus 1 or something, so that you can't just use it as soon as it's done moving. So this would be set up at the beginning as well, along with the other variable stuff. So do like elevator move time equals 3 seconds. It's going to wait 3 seconds plus the additional 1. And yeah, that should all be golden. So in the actual elevator move function, this is where we're going to be moving all this stuff. We're going to be moving the door here so that it goes to the left. We're going to be moving this clip up and down when it's done. So yeah, let's get right into scripting that. So as we had this variable here, we can set that to equal true, so that if for some reason this is triggered by a player, then it won't move. So we can actually set the hint, just copy this trig and just do that, and then we're going to do hide so that it can't be activated while it's moving. So the next step would be, or the first step of it moving would be to have this door move inward like that. So I'm just going to hide this so I can see this. So we want this to move on the X 72. So it's the elevator door model. So I'm just going to copy this. Level dot that move X, what was it, 72, and we want to move it over maybe 0.5 seconds. And then every time we move something, we want to put a wait so that it doesn't, you know, as I said, break. We could make this 0.75 so it isn't moved straight away. And then after it's moved, we want to link it to the origin. So we can do link to, and then whatever the origin was called here. We also want to move the clip up. So I believe it was called elevator door clip. Yep. So how much do we want to move it up by? So let's go back up. And so it's going to go So it's going to move Z 168. And that's going to want to happen over the fastest time possible in the game in server-side scripting, which is 0.05 seconds. So we're going to want to do the same thing with this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to link it to the origin. And we're going to do the same thing with the trigger. Okay, so something I actually forgot to mention up here was that we need to not just link this variable to the struct here, we want to actually do a for each thing. So this is basically where it does for each something inside of an array, and seeing as this is an array of brush models, we want to do for each model in this, and then do that. And then we're actually going to move this up here, and instead of having this, we're going to have the model. So it's basically going to do this for each model, and it's going to run through this until like each model is enable link to, and each model is linked to that. So that's something I should have mentioned. Alright, so seeing as this is already all linked to the origin here, all we're going to need to do after linking all this stuff is just move the origin to where we want it to go. So the way how we do that is we're just going to want to grab the bottom clip here, and we're going to want to check to see where we want this clip to go. So I'm just going to want to put it here exactly. So that's move Z minus 432. So -4, and then here's where we're going to want to put the move time for the elevator. So we actually define that up here. So the move time we put is 3 seconds. So it's going to go the move time. So it's going to say, okay, well this is 3 seconds. So we're going to do that over 3 seconds. So we're going to want to put a wait here. So level.elevator move time. So it's going to do that. And then we're going to do like plus 0.5 or something. Something that's actually going to be good for making it so you don't have to set up two functions, so one going down and one going up, is making a function for this. So the way how I'm going to do that is I'm going to create another variable up here and call it level.elevator at floor 1. I'm going to say true. So the way how we're going to utilize this is if it's true, then this is going to be minus. If it's not true, then this is going to be nothing. Or this is going to just be 432. So if elevator at floor 1, so we don't need to do is equal to true, because you just don't need to. You just do if elevator at floor 1, because that'll say, okay, so if it's true, then we want to do like a local variable that says move amount equals 432. We're just going to do else. Same thing, move amount equals minus 432. I actually got those swapped around, so I'm just going to cut, paste, 432. So that's going to say, all right, so if it's at floor 1, then we move it down that much. So this, I'm going to put that in the move amount here. So yeah, that should work perfectly. We might actually want to make that a little bit more time here, so I'll make that 3, just to stop there from being any bugs or anything. So it's going to wait the elevator move time plus that amount. So after that's moved, what do we want to do? We want to move this clip back down, move this back to its original position, and unlink everything that needs to be unlinked. So that's everything that isn't the basic models. So basically just unlink all this stuff here. So I'm just going to copy all these. Just do unlink. First one we're going to do is the door clip. We're going to do the amount that we moved it here. So the clip was moved 168. So same thing, but on the minus. Move Z minus 168. 0.05 seconds. Just put a semicolon. Same as this. We're going to put that there. Change that to minus 72. And I'm just going to put a weight in here. Weight 0.5. That should be it. But if we have any other things we need to do, I'll run back in the script again. But for the meantime, let's link and load it up. Just to run through what we've got. So this is going to loop forever. So it's going to wait the elevator move time plus 3 seconds so that we don't have any bugs, and it's just going to loop, loop, loop. This is ran only once it's triggered by a player, and they have the enough score. Oh, that's right. We also need to make this elevator moving. So we're going to do elevator moving. Okay, so we've already done that there. So afterwards, we're going to do elevator moving equals false. Change this to 75. Alright, so here inside the ifs, I'm just going to put where it's changing from level elevator at floor 1 equals false or true. So it's currently, if we look in the code here, it's currently true, which means it is at floor 1. So it's going to go in here, it's going to say this, and then it's going to change it to false. But here we want to change it to true. So basically it's gonna loop properly, and this should all work. And then right at the bottom we want to make it so that we can see the trigger. So every time this is called, it's going to hide the trigger, and then once it's all done, it's going to show the trigger again. Right, let's save it and check out to see if it all works. Alright, here we are in game. Let's see if it all works. Let's go inside our elevator. Yep, use elevator 500. Let's see. So that goes down. And yeah, everything comes down with us. Let's see, does it open? Yep. Use elevator again. And it goes up. That's pretty cool. So the zombies do get stuck. They get confused. So that's a problem with the set moving platform and stuff like that. Sometimes they get super confused. So the way how I got around that in my own version of it was I put in a monster clip here, that when the zombie comes in and touches it, when this is used, if any zombie is in here, it instantly kills them and makes them respawn. So I could put that bit of code in the description or whatever, but for now, this is working. This works perfectly. When I go up, I can't go out, so the clip is working as well. And yeah, that seems to work all good. So yeah. Oh, one thing that I actually forgot to do is make it so that it minuses the score from the player. So I'm actually going to do that now quickly. So to do that, we're actually just going to do player.score, and we're going to copy that. We're going to do player.score equals the score minus the elevator cost. And that's a really simple fix. That'll fix it instantly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, just let me know in the comments, leave a like, whatever. You can message me on Discord or Twitter or something if you have any questions, or leave them down in the comments again. If this tutorial wasn't that great, I'm sorry. I'm kind of lacking a bit of sleep, and I'm missing out a few semicolons here and there. So if you're getting any errors, make sure you're not missing any semicolons. So if it says look at line 177, it'll probably be a missing semicolon at the line above it. So yeah, just make sure if you're having any errors, just make sure there's semicolons here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial or the next video or whatever. Yeah, peace.